isn't just talking about Diddy here. He's implying that Dawn Richards could have been a possible accomplice. So what has just come out about Q of Day 26 and Diddy is just...
This isn't just about industry drama and the whole situation. I just want to say, I think he needs a lot of prayer, life, and he needs mental health.
With Diddy. And the bad boy artist had it the worst because he held the key to everything. But we've heard over and over again that everything Q was doing just cracked open another layer of chaos, and that everyone had to go through something with Diddy. Q revealed that we are still just barely scratching the surface.
I kept trying to get in contact with him because all I wanted was an apology.
Chaos. When we thought that we heard everything there is to say about Diddy,
you could look at me and tell like something was wrong.
About one of the biggest
like I wasn't the enthused person.
People have been speculating.
I wasn't cute because something was wrong with me,
elusive. Hidden behind layers of contrast.
He couldn't even remember anything about how or when it happened.
When Q finally speaks, it isn't just a confession, it's a revelation, peeling back the curtain on what life was really like for
But what
artists,
exactly is Q talking about?
Talk to protect one man's
Not as often as I'd like. It wasn't
everyone
I
else's
chose
peace of
Puff
mind.
over my group at the
The
time. It was
timing
more
couldn't
of
be more
when
significant.
someone
and then
does
the RICO charges that really just exposed how much the industry protected Diddy, and that's how he kept everyone in check in order to stay powerful. But the thing is, then you already know that Diddy kept tapes and records of just about everyone that crossed paths with him,
and that's crazy.
Loyalty and fame
I look at things like that as loyalty. So I was loyal to him and
helping Diddy all in the name of paying her dues. But one thing he knew for sure was that it could not have happened without Dawn.
But that's the homie forever. Wouldn't know that Puff had bought me out of a contract.
If you've been following since the Cassie scandal that kicked things off in 2023, and then what if what Q is saying is true? They believe that the people caught up in it were complicit in Diddy's actions. He was being super careful not to get anything on his image. He was always so shaken up, and sometimes he would even break down crying. His group looked a bit shaken up and triggered when he was asked if anything ever happened between him and Diddy, that he expressed the reason why he finds it so hard to talk about Diddy and the things that he saw. It was only when he showed up for the interview with Audrey O'Day that their relationship was so mainstream that it became a major storyline on Making. But by the time Q took the pill and when he came to, only woke up screaming and his body felt like something had happened to him.
Control and a complicated system of favors and obligations.
She gave
Q, like many of his peers,
and she said,
found himself
the
caught
thing
in a
is, he
web
wasn't
where
asleep.
career
He
advancement
was awake the whole
depended
time.
on unwavering
His coming away from
Diddy's
infamous freak-offs. They don't even left a comment explaining what Q might have been feeling, saying didn't know that every inch of Diddy's house was covered with bonds, that he found out that the pill was more like a horse tranquilizer than a regular. And it gets even wilder because it turned out that Dawn never took the pill that she told him she was going to take. That isn't how it went down, because so it didn't take long before Dawn responded with a statement of her own saying, I also said that there were 2 red pills. She never took hers to take. That probably pretended to take it to give him a false sense of security. And when she supposedly of Day 26 had always stayed away from really talking about Diddy, and whenever he did, and that makes a whole lot of sense because it was only when he started poking Dawn that basically asking him, why would he stay with her if she did all of those things?
Couldn't protect him from the events that would follow.
I understand why.
Do we need more evidence of this? Dawn's statement was basically here doing the same thing that Diddy and the jury did to Cassie. I want to be unequivocally clear. I have never drugged anyone, nor have I ever given Diddy's former chef, Jordan, defending her, claiming that Dawn was not a liar and Q was basically alone in how he was feeling. Like, Q never said when the incident occurred. And Dawn must have clocked it too, because no one needed to say more before she took. So how could she tell that this was his behavior afterwards? Instead, she had someone else. And did y'all notice that even though she claimed not to know about the incident or what happened, Q started dating Dawn Richards, who was also signed to Bad Boy Records. They became the first couple that we know of out of Bad Boy, aside from Faith and Biggie, and let everything that he's been holding on to for more than 2 decades out. He just dropped a snippet of a video he was talking about and laid it out on the table. According to Q, Jordan wasn't even there. Around the time Day 26 was enacted, but right before the camera moved, Diddy tried grabbing something. And there's no need to spell it out, but that must have been scary for Q to wake up and slowly realize that he had been played.
It's just really deep, man.
By a realization.
So say what you want about Q of day 26, but the thing is, and the internet definitely thinks that what he's saying is true. And if we're gonna believe Cassie, then Q has to be extended the same courtesy. One day, Dawn approached him and said that she had something new for him to try. She showed him a second one that was meant for her and gave him the impression that the intent was for them to do something freaky together later on. But boy, I hope Diddy gets all he deserves and more. I watched that day 26 defending Dawn while ignoring her harmful behavior towards her group members and ex-Q. When it comes to Diddy, his story has never changed, and it's hard to think that he wasn't being genuine, only to see Diddy standing over him looking down on him with a bunch of other men in the room laughing.
First of all, and he's a danger to the world right now. And I think there's a lot of people that are scared to have him come out.
Bother to get into it. He gave out because as soon as Jordan said what she said, yet he couldn't quite put a finger on exactly what he was feeling.
Also, before I forget, John Richard is not a liar.
Details of what exactly happened.
John's not a liar.
Laughing at him and scaring him, knowing that she had a hand. The thing is, that he might have still done it, and that's why the camera had to pan away so quickly so it wouldn't be recorded.